give me the craziest night at the Cellar for you.
It's definitely the $1 billion show. Yeah. So Ryan Hamilton, Dave Attell went up next. Amy Schumer went up next. No, that's not true. First was Ryan Hamilton. Second was Dave Attell. Third was Seinfeld. How you forget that guy?
How do you want me to introduce you on this?
You know what? Comedian tech founder. You know what's so sad, man?
What's sad, John?
I shouldn't say sad, but the tech man is now, man, like 85% of my time.
Really?
Yeah. And you know what? There's the people that recognize me as a comedian slide.
Is it?
All those years.
Is it because you're
of
not
work.
out anymore?
Yeah. Yeah. From hosting, man, being in the basement, it's like, you know what I mean? I had a girl run up on me recently and she said, "Oh my God." And I was like, "Oh, you follow comedy?" She was like, "Aren't you the Blap guy?" I was like, "Oh."
Now, for people that don't know Blap, we'll get into that in a second.
Okay.
But if you don't know John, like legendary, he hosts the Comedy Cellar. How many years you been doing that at the Comedy Cellar?
6 or 7 now.
6 or 7.
Yeah.
Now, SD, of course, and Liz are out there. If you don't know the Comedy Cellar, it's the only club. Every time I go there, when I do my first set, I feel the jitters, the fun jitters, the excitement.
Yeah.
Where you don't get that, once you're seasoned, you don't really get that a lot.
No. But you know what? But let's be honest. The Cellar is the Madison Square Garden. It's the Yankee State. It doesn't matter who you are. You could make it to LeBron level. You're still in the Garden.
Yeah.
The Comedy Cellar is the greatest. That room is probably the greatest comedy stage of all time.
Now, which one are you speaking? Because there's so many. McDougal. That's the one in the restaurant, below the restaurant.
Yes, that's the original room.
That's the original.
That's the one that gives you the goosebumps.
Yes.
Walking down that hall past all those pictures. The Comedy Cellar is the greatest. That McDougal room is probably the greatest comedy room in the history of comedy. There's, man, your feet are planted in the same place as all of the greatest.
You know what's
of
so
all
different?
time.
I gotta admit, because I came from LA. I started my comedy career in Miami and LA. And LA, it was to get at the Comedy Store, which is a great club.
Oh, yeah.
So all my years, Comedy Store. And then I remember the first time I got at the Comedy Cellar in Las Vegas, and then Esty was like, "Hey, want to bring you to New York?" So I did New York for the first time. And the first thing I noticed, the biggest difference, and I will disagree with a lot of New York comics, I think LA is a lot harder than New York to perform at the Cellar, because I feel like the crowds come to laugh in New York. And it's educated crowds, it's smart crowds.
Right.
It's visitors that know comedy.
Right.
Where I feel like a lot of times, Comedy Store, it was a lot of industry comes out, it's a lot of people in the industry, everybody thinks they can do it.
Right.
And I don't know, it's just, to me, it was harder because I feel like the crowd, it wasn't a normal crowd, if that makes sense.
Right.
Like, I've never one time went to the Cellar and was like, "Oh, this crowd is terrible." They're always there to laugh and have fun.
Yeah, but the other thing too about the Store, and a lot of history there too as well. But I do believe if I am on a sitcom that's doing well,
Yes.
right, whether I'm funny or not, I can perform at the Store.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I believe that the credits will override your whatever. That shit don't fly at the Cellar.
Have you seen?
Either you got them things or you ain't got them.
Have you seen people with big names, TV-wise, come in there, or they won't even put them on stage still?
They won't put. I'm saying you don't get to go up.
Ah, okay.
I'm saying that's the difference between the two. You know what I mean? At the Store, you'll have a bunch of people who are like, "Oh, you've seen this guy on, or he was in this movie 5 years ago. You guys all know him from." He's not funny, but he can still go up because it's like, "Oh, but look at his." The Store is a little more interested in your bio, your IMDb. The Comedy Cellar is interested in your punch power. Period. If you don't have them hands, you don't get to go up here. We don't care. Yeah. Take your movie credits upstairs to the olive tree. and pose
For
up
those
there.
don't know who that's the restaurant
Yeah,
upstairs. that
take
you
your
eat
ass
at.
upstairs to the restaurant.
And go eat something.
Yeah, go eat something. Because down here in the basement, we do the thing.
I remember the first time I went up at the Comedy Cellar, man. One time I went after Michael Che, and one time I went after, and this is after, it was Bachelor season. Jared Freed was on.
Yeah.
And I remember him just ripping it. And just the laugh. You're sitting upstairs, walking down that stairway, and you're, and everybody is crushing. Not just one person doing okay. Every single person is destroyed. It's not, they did all right. I've never been to the Comedy Cellar, any room, where somebody did all right.
I mean,
it happens, but
the likelihood of it happening is very, very
it's
low.
the only time, honestly, the only people you see do all right are super established people that know they can try out new stuff.
And they're in there working out.
And they're working out.
Yeah.
But if you're newer, you can't work out.
That's not a workout room. Not a workout room. And keep in mind that at the Cellar, if you're on stage at the Cellar, there's 3 clubs within a block.
Yes.
Take your ass down there and work out.
Yeah.
Yeah, this ain't that.
I remember the first advice I got. I don't know if the guy's still there. He's the door guy, white guy.
Outdoor Steve, of
Outdoor
course.
Steve. Last time I was there, he wasn't there.
You crazy? You know what? Outdoor Steve don't work on the weekends no more. He's bougie.
Okay, he's bougie.
Yeah, I said it, Steve. Your ass bougie. He don't do the weekend no more. Outdoor Steve, but he's there. Yeah.
But Outdoor Steve, I remember first time I was going up because he said, "This ain't a workout room." Literally, he just met me, and he goes, "This ain't a workout room. It's your first time. Bring your A material. Don't go up there trying new stuff."
Nah.
And
there's a lot of places to do that in New York City. Not in that basement.
God, I love it though, man. I love how every comic is so good. It's so fun what's great about the Cellar? Because I don't get out to many clubs with what's it called? A bunch of comedians. Was it shotgun?
Showcase shows.
Showcase shows. So I don't do a bunch of shows like that. So New York is the only place I really do that, right?
Yeah.
Because normally I'm doing my own shows. But what's great, and I'm sure there's drama in every club, but to see comics you've seen for the first time, you just see them on Instagram, stuff like that, and then after they get off, they see you and Michael, yo, and you're like, what? You know who I am?
Yeah.
And the respect. It's like, oh my God, I watch you all the time.
Yeah.
I love that at that room. And I'm sure that happens everywhere. You know,
but to your point, that's another thing, man, is the whole, a lot of these clubs, man, are filling their seats with, this person's got 400,000 followers. We got to get them up. This person's got, not in the basement. Nobody's looking at your IG following, your TikTok following.
Well, the difference is y'all don't do promoter shows.
Right.
Yeah, you have to be
it's sold out.
It's sold out.
So you saying, I can get people here means nothing at the Cellar.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of influencers who have come there like, hey, how come I don't, you got to take that out west, partner.
Now, let's be honest.
That ain't what we doing.
Jai, you always honest.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm so mad that the West got that type of recognition.
You know what though? Here's what I'm saying. Don't get it twisted. First of all, I'm a businessman.
Yeah.
I run a business. So I know ticket sales, it's important if you're running a business. I'm not knocking it. I'm saying that ain't this business model.
Right.
This was built on funny. Bring the funny. And that's why the lines got long. I understand if you need to fill seats. I'm not knocking somebody who says, hey, this guy has 200,000 followers. This unhilarious motherfucker. But he can fill my club up. I'm not knocking that. You crazy? Come on, man. I got an app. I do collabos with influencers to get people to download my app.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I totally understand.
Yeah.
You need to get asses in seats. You need to get ass in seats. The ass is already in the seats at the Cellar, so take that unhilarious shit somewhere else.
Okay. Have you ever seen can a person at the Cellar get passed and then unpassed?
Oh, most people.
Most people?
Yeah.
As in how?
I think that
They just stop booking you.
Well, I think that unfortunately, oftentimes, people have this picture in their head as being passed as like a made man. It's not. being passed at the Cellar is an opportunity to work there. You know what I mean? But you got to keep proving. Now, let's be honest, like after a while, you could be there long enough to get tenure.
Yeah.
You know, I don't feel like if I'm doing a show, like I have my own one-man show on February 1st, right, coming up for Black History Month. I also host more shows, obviously, than anybody in that joint. But
how many shows do you host a week?
Oh, man. I don't know. Maybe 15.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe 14, 15.
Is it mostly crowd work, or is it mostly do you work on material?
I'm sprinkling some more and more material.
Are you trying to work on new material?
I do my own show once a month for that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I do
But like when
John
you
Lasseter and Friends where I do an hour.
Because I know like a lot of job of a host, like a good host like you, it's not about you as much as you setting the room. You doing whatever is necessary to make that room hot.
Yeah.
And I know what makes a room hot a lot of times is crowd work rather than working on new material.
Yeah, but like take for example the Sunday show. So I host Sunday brunch there.
Yeah.
Sunday brunch is a little different vibe because all of the folks that come to the Sunday brunch show are really intentional. Mm-hmm. These aren't people who are in town on Friday or Saturday looking for something to do. Like I'm here in Vegas, right? I'm just Googling stuff to do in Vegas, and then I went and did it yesterday. You know what I mean? I saw a dope show over at the Rio, the Empire Strips Back, like something like that. But I'm just looking for stuff to do. Mm-hmm. That's what Friday, Saturday people do sometimes at the Cellar. The Sunday people, no. These people specifically want to go see comedy at the Comedy Cellar. That show, I think, lends itself a little bit more to me being able to try out new stuff. They appreciate the process.
Got you.
They get it. They're like, dude, we want to see you. We want to see the sausage made.
Yeah.
So, you know, it varies. So but Friday and Saturday, no, it's a game.
Okay.
So yeah, there's some crowd work, and then sometimes, you know, you also have to premise, set up, punch, because a lot of times when I'm performing on the weekend, this is these people's first comedy show.
So true.
So I have to train them. What is the rest of the show gonna look like? Mm-hmm. Sometimes you can't do all crowd work. And it depends on who's coming up first. If somebody's coming up first that's super strong, I can do all crowd work. If somebody who's coming up that I know is a more low energy and I need to get their ears attuned to what this person is doing, I'm gonna put some jokes in there right before I bring them up so that it's an easier transition. So they know jokes are coming. Yes.
They know jokes are coming.
Yes.
Now, when you're at the Cellar scene, give me the craziest night at the Cellar for you.
It's definitely the $1 billion show. Yeah. So Ryan Hamilton, Dave Attell went up next. Amy Schumer went up next. No, that's not true. First was Ryan Hamilton. Second was Dave Attell. Third was Seinfeld. How you forget that guy? Getting a little too cocky out here, are you? Oh, there was this one dude used to have a show. I think his name was Jody Seinfeld. You know what I'm saying, Johnny? I think Johnny, my man Johnny Seinfeld went up. Then Amy Schumer, and then Aziz, and then Chris Rock, and then Dave Chappelle.
Wow. Now, where were you in that lineup?
I was hosting.
You were hosting that show.
Somebody asked me a dumbass question. Somebody said, "Yo, man, was you doing a lot of time in between?" I said, "Are you out of your rabbit ass mind?"
Right.
So one of them could say, "Never mind, I'll go on the next show." You want every one of them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You want all the jewels in that crown. So did you know that
full lineup when you started that show?
Well, actually, to explain
how that happens, because you're hosting that night anyway.
Yeah.
And so you go up.
Well, no. We sitting upstairs, and we actually
at the table.
At the table.
The legendary table.
At the legendary table, and me and the manager who was working that night named Val, we actually outwardly said, well, all of them can't go on.
Were they already there?
Yeah, it was just a perfect storm, but they weren't there together. So they came in different pieces. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
so what time is the show?
That show, I believe, was at 8:45, if I'm not mistaken.
So 8:45, you get there about 8:15, 8 o'clock?
Yeah.
Which people are already there?
Ryan is there because he's going up first. Yeah. Ryan Hamilton is first. Seinfeld is there, and I think Seinfeld was there. I don't know why he was there. Either he was there with Ryan or he was there
eating
with Chris.
Chris, okay.
Yeah, because I think they were both doing late night. Amy wasn't there. She was around the corner doing
So
something with
for
Colin.
sure, when you're at this show right now, you're like, well, we got Chris and we got Seinfeld and Ryan going up.
No.
No.
No. Seinfeld never, ever goes up there. So I assumed, oh my God, he's definitely not going up.
Okay.
That's out of the question. He
Okay.
doesn't really work.
He's just hanging with Chris.
He's just hanging. He just came down to say what's up, whatever.
Yeah.
But Dave Attell goes up, and we're sitting there at the table.
And Dave Attell, that's rare for Dave Attell to go up that early. Usually he's super late.
Insanely rare.
Yeah. So he's there. Just
Don't ask
there.
me why.
Okay. That's what I was wondering. Why is Dave Attell at 8:45?
Don't ask me why.
Okay.
So I think, to be honest, that Dave Attell had said he was going to go up because one of them said they were going to go up, and he didn't want the time to get all misconstrued. So I think he agreed
So
to go
what
up
about all
sooner.
the other comics that were booked on that show? I know they all got bumped.
You goddamn right they got bumped. Are you serious?
No, but I'm saying, was there a line? So there was a lineup.
Yeah, right. There was a lineup.
Okay, so
I'm not gonna say no names because some of them was upset that they didn't
Were
get
they
to
really?
go up. Yeah, I'll tell you after we turn the cameras off.
Is it because they wanted to be in that all-star lineup?
Who would not want to be a part of that?
All right.
Who don't want a piece of that?
Did anybody on the original lineup get to go up in between that?
No. Ryan Hamilton went up, and I'm gonna be honest with you, he probably had the best set. Hamilton goes up, and then all hell broke loose. You know, once Attell went up and Seinfeld,
So when Ryan then,
and then Dave Attell,
Okay.
and then Seinfeld, Johnny Seinfeld, Johnny went downstairs. He said he hadn't seen Dave Attell, so once Seinfeld goes downstairs, because he said, I haven't seen this guy perform in years, he goes downstairs to watch. And then I think he just got the bug.
it was like, I got to do it.
I got to get some of this.
You know, it's good being king of the castle.
Yeah,
Bet $5, get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. I have teamed up with DraftKings because the next great touchdown is coming, and you can bet on it. You know it's good being the king.
Babe, I need you to take out the trash.
I gotta go do some king stuff. So make sure you use my promo code YOBET. That's YOBET. YOBET. It's not my bet, it's your bet. The crown is yours.
So how does this happen? Does Seinfeld come up to you, or does he go up to a manager and say, I want to go up next? Or does he know you and say, hey, John, I want to go up next?
Yeah, I think he said that to a manager,
Okay.
right? And, then we're downstairs. I had met Seinfeld a couple times at some other clubs, but so then they said, oh yeah, Seinfeld wants to go on. Well, it's like, whoa, because I don't see this guy down there, so it was a treat. But I was upstairs, so they come upstairs and say, yo, Johnny, he want to go up. You know what I'm saying? So we go downstairs.
So there's a comic waiting to go on after Attell that's booked.
Yes.
And then,
And then
so
they
you
say
look,
Jerry Seinfeld wants
then
to
you
go
said,
up.
Jerry-
But I mean, are you serious? Like,
No. But I just want people that don't know comedy to understand.
Yeah.
There's a person like me waiting to go on after
Right.
Attell, and then John is like, nah.
Yeah.
Jerry Seinfeld's going
Jerry
up.
Seinfeld's going up. But the thing was, so I'm sitting upstairs. They come upstairs and say Jerry Seinfeld wants to go up. So we were all like, whoa. But we're all at the table. So Chris and Dave overheard
Dave who?
Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? We done got too cocky on it.
Okay, you so cocky.
And then DC,
You know Dave Chappelle.
Pelly sitting there. You know what I'm saying? He talking about he want to do something, my man from Ohio.
Yellow Springs.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yellow Spring talking about he want to do something.
Oh my God.
So we sit there, man.
So
and,
they hear Seinfeld wants to go up.
and then they were like, yo, let's go watch.
Seinfeld.
So Dave Chappelle and Chris are sitting there when he said that, and then they come downstairs. There's a picture of us on the steps that night.
So that's my question, because if you don't know that room, it's very small.
Very.
Are they standing in that entrance to go into the room? They're
Yes,
standing back there.
They're on the steps.
Got you. Okay.
But
so they're not
there's
watching
actually-
really.
yes,
they're
they
just
are.
listening. On the steps?
You could see in there, like they're kind of standing, kind of sitting
you.
at
Yeah,
times.
I got you.
But someone actually took a picture of us. It's if you don't know that Seinfeld's on stage, but
Okay.
someone took a picture that night of of us in the hallway
Got
and
you.
sitting on the steps. And it's weird that someone caught that picture because you see Dave standing there. I think he's smoking and Chris is on the steps, but we were all
Seinfeld's
down there
For Seinfeld.
because Seinfeld's on stage.
Okay, so Seinfeld goes up, then what next?
So
Chris
Seinfeld goes up, no, and we're again. So now you get a picture. We're in that hallway, right? Amy comes out the bathroom. Chris says to Dave, "Yo, are you going up on this?" And then Amy was like, "You guys are going up? You know, y'all rocking?" And then she was like, "Yo, let's all get some of it." So she was like, "Yo, can I do 5?" What am I to say to Amy Schumer? Nah, you can't do 5. Yeah, you know what? We're booked tonight, Amy.
You see this random person that's
You know
supposed to
what?
go up next?
Send me a tape. See what I can do for you. You know, we got Johnny Seinfeld tonight. We got Yellow Springs.
Yeah, right. Yellow Springs. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and rock, paper, scissors. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yes, you can go up.
So
you
Amy
crazy?
goes up.
So once Amy grows up, the dam is broke.
Yeah.
Because now you already have Dave Attell, Jerry Seinfeld, Amy Schumer. Keep in mind, Aziz is working on his Saturday Night
Yep.
Live set. He's on the lineup. So that's already going to be news.
Yeah.
So, and then you throw Amy Schumer on that list. Come on. So the two of them, then at this point, it was like, we all going up now.
Yeah.
Yeah, once Amy said, I'm going, the dam broke. It was like, yeah, Aziz going up. Y'all two, who going up first?
Who closed?
Chappelle. It's funny, yo, because he goes on stage, right? Chappelle's sitting there, you know, and he put the cigarette in his mouth. He was like, the place was in pandemonium.
Yeah, of course.
At this point, it wasn't even like excitement for seeing Dave Chappelle. It was like, what is going on type of.
We're confused right now.
Like people were just like outwardly screaming. Like when I introduced Chappelle, like normally when I introduce people, right, people will like look at the person coming onto the stage and clap. I'll never forget, I say, give it up for Dave Chappelle. There's these two girls, right, that are sitting there in the front row. They didn't even look for Dave Chappelle. They just looked at each other and started screaming. You know what I mean? Like they had just won a car. They just turned to each other like two white girls. They were like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And just started screaming. But it was so crazy. And then he walks on stage, lights up a cigarette. He said, calm down, because people are just screaming.
Yeah.
Just straight up screaming. He says, calm down, calm down. Cat Williams is next. Yeah, man. And then the Times, you know, I had posted an IG post, you know, like the gratitude, basically, man, I'm so grateful to be able to work in this Yankee Stadium, this Madison Square Garden of comedy. And tonight, ding, ding, ding. And I put it in the post, and the AP screenshotted it, and then it wrapped around the world. Hit me at 6 a.m. from Australia. Somebody hit me from Germany, like, yo, did that really happen? Was that, because you know there's not, you can't, there's no pictures or nothing in there.
Because the only time that normally ever happens, it rarely does, but you would think it would happen after an award show. You know, like an Oscars
people are in
where
town?
people are in town,
Yeah.
everybody, but
That was just a perfect storm.
what night was that? That was a weekend or a
It
weekday?
was a Tuesday or Wednesday. Yeah, it wasn't a weekend. It was like a Tuesday, but it really was just a weird, because Aziz happened to be doing SNL. Amy happened to be hanging with Colin around the corner of the lounge.
Yeah.
You know? So that, I mean, it was really
And
just
this is what I love about comedy, man. It always brings you back to the place.
yeah.
No matter how big you are, you still got to work out. You still got to try out stuff.
Yeah, I mean, some people.
Some people, yeah.
Because if I get some money, you're not going to catch me. Out.
You're not going to host any more shows?
Right. You know what I'm saying? This will be my last time on this podcast.
Well, if I blow up, it'll be my last time doing this podcast too.
You know what I'm saying?
It'll be the end of this podcast.
We both going to retire this goddamn podcast.
That's right. That's
yeah,
right.
baby.
Well, who are you loving at the Cellar right now?
Oh, man, there's some young people in there, man, that are stars. You know, straight up stars. Ethan Simmons Patterson. Mm-hmm. I don't know why he won't get a social media. He won't ever even see this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a beast, man. I mean, you know, Marcelo, man.
Marcelo's blowing up.
You know, me and
But
Marcelo
you told me about him. Look, I know Marcelo from SNL, But I go to John because, let's be honest, a lot of people that are on SNL, a lot of times they're comedians, but they're not really comedians. But John told me over a year ago, like, this dude's for real on stage. Like, he's a beast on stage. And we know that doesn't happen a lot with some people from SNL.
But I told you.
Yeah, you told me.
Before all
You said, no, he can do comedy.
I said, oh yeah, this dude is the real deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, there's a lot of folks, man. Maddie Weiner is hilarious.
Yep.
You know, she's writing for SNL. She's hilarious. Yeah, some of these young guns, man, swooping around the cellar are, you know, Reggie Conquest. I think is going to be a star, man. He's got that almost that Kevin Hart, Tracy Morgan. There's something about them that is, you know who else he has a thing like? Adam Sandler. He reminds me of Sandler on stage, where you're watching him and something about him, you just like him.
Got you.
The whole time. You know? Yeah, there's a lot of cats, man. There's a list of these fools that Jordan Jensen's killing it now.
Yes.
You know, she's carving out an audience for herself. A lot of women that are just starting to glom on to her, like really, you know what I mean? So there's some star power in there, yo. And some of them you watch, I've been doing this long enough to be like, this is gonna work out for you.
Is it like, as far as comedians that you see, and this could be your own personal story as well, is it, I think it's kind of like an American Idol thing. Kelly Clarkson always could sing, but nobody would have known unless she was on American Idol.
Right.
Is it kind of sad there's so many talented comedians that will never be found on a wide scale?
But I think that some of that is going away. One of the more talented guys, this guy that I'm out here with right now, Peter Ravello, this dude, hilarious.
Yeah.
So, you know, and he mentioned his age the other day, but I could see he was saying almost in a, I'm not the young kids that are coming up, you know, Cam Patterson.
Cam, yeah.
He's a beast.
Yeah.
And Cam also has this it thing.
Yeah.
I watch him on stage, I'm like, this gonna work out for you, dog.
Yep.
You gonna be all right.
Yeah.
Cam is another guy, man.
But he puts in the work, though.
Oh, absolutely.
But let me tell you something, because there's a lot of these guys that go on Kill Tony, and then they go on tour, and they don't have time.
Yeah.
The story I heard about Cam Patterson was that my friend was running this club in an odd market. I think Cam was out with Bert Kreischer or somebody, and he comes in a day early just to do open mics.
Yeah.
Just to get on stage, and I'm like, okay, I respect that.
He's a worker bee.
Yeah.
But he's also, he has you got to be careful when you I don't know, when you bring up certain people, but he has an authenticity to him.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That it's like, oh, this guy's willing to open up about good, the bad, and the ugly in his life, which is rare air, because that means that people feel like they know you.
100, and that's what it's about.
And once somebody feels like they know you, they ain't leaving you. They'll go through the ups, the downs. He's got that. And I'm gonna be careful when I say this. So I'm not comparing him to Richard Pryor. I don't want people to think he ain't no Richard Pryor. He's got that Pryor-esque vulnerability to him.
Yeah.
That is like, once you, and it doesn't matter, you'll go through the whole ride. That Bobby Brown type of quality where you feel like, man, damn it, you'll go out and fight for Cam. You don't even know what he's fighting about.
Yeah. No, I got you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, where they really feel like, yo, this is my guy. We've been through all this shit. He opens up like that, but he's a worker bee.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. But Ravello, like he was mentioning he was, in a derogatory way, kind of saying something about his age. I think that what you're talking about, I don't know if it's existent like that anymore, because there's so much social media out there where the gatekeepers' powers have been diminished.
But at the same time, it's interesting because I was talking to friends about this. It's interesting because a lot of times, I think you learn this through the industry. A lot of times you want to be funny to everybody. And then once you figure out, oh, let me just be funny to the people that like me, that's when you take off. Once your social media starts gearing, like Jordan Jensen, right? She knows her people now, and her people know her. That's who I'm rocking. I don't care if...
And that's all you need.
I don't care if Michael Yo people don't like me. I don't care if John's people don't like me. This is my people.
Yes.
It's kind of Bert has his people. Rogan has his people. Chappelle has his people. Because I've heard people say, I don't think Chappelle's funny. I was like, are you an idiot?
Right.
But it's not their people.
Right.
And so I think the misconception, what I tell every young comedian now is like, find your voice, find your people, don't worry about everybody else.
Right. But fortunately, unlike people who came up before that, right? We came up before that. Before our goal was to be funny, to be the last guy on stage, to be the best guy in the room.
Yeah.
These folks, these younger comics don't necessarily think that way. I think that they think more the way that you just described.
Yeah.
Let me find my tribe.
Yep.
And that's enough.
That's all I need.
Right. And they have evidence of people doing that. Like you said, the Kreischers, the Chappelles. There's probably some whatever.
Look how many comedians we probably don't even know that are selling out theaters across the country and around the world. Never even heard of them.
I've seen a couple of them audition.
Yeah.
I hosted the auditions. My first thought was, go back on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, this basement ain't for you.
No.
And that doesn't mean
you're not funny.
Nor does it mean that this is for everybody.
No.
You know what I mean?
The basement, let me tell you, what I had to learn in the basement is I'm a storyteller, right? And when you're new like me to the basement, they're not gonna give you that time to be funny like they would at Dave Chappelle could go up there 2-3 minutes, set up a story, and then get the laugh.
Yeah.
You don't have that opportunity. So when you go in, you kind of gotta, I gotta condense my story, just take out all the BS.
I gotta find a way in.
I gotta find a way in.
Yeah.
And to me, at the Cellar, your first joke has to hit.
Right.
I mean, you have to go on and hit. There's no ramp up.
Right. But here's the key, right? Which is to me something that you've accomplished. There's cats like yourself who are being ahead of the curve, right? Because you are, just like we were talking about with Cam, one, you're a worker bee, so you worked your way into being a funny comic. And at the same time, it's like, but then there's this other lane.
Yeah.
Right? That's why we're here.
Yep.
So if you can combine the two of those, it's over. If you are actually funny, if you are actually, I think, Cam is funny as hell.
Yep.
Marcelo's funny as hell. But them guys also got that other lane.
Yep. You got to have it.
Ali Sadiq is funny as hell.
Yeah.
But Ali has now filled out that other lane.
Bro,
ain't nothing you going to be able to do with him.
Nope.
There's nothing you can do. Lee is free.
What's his name? He was on the Daily Show, created his own lane, put out a special every week. Josh
Johnson.
Yes. Bro.
Funny as hell.
Funny.
And figured out the other piece.
Figured out, and that's what's so interesting, and that's what I told, I have a team now that works social media and stuff. I go, comedy, like what drives my YouTube channel and everything, it's my parents, it's my wife, it's all family and my comedy. But I go, I haven't figured out that Josh Johnson piece, that one thing that just, what do I do once a week that just goes? And this dude was like, I'm gonna take topics that are popular, but then not necessarily give them punch. I'm gonna tell stories. I'm gonna give you a punch every minute, but his POV, and he's so smart about it.
Right.
It's phenomenal, man.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal.
I think that's a huge mistake on your part.
What?
How do I do the Josh? Let Josh Johnson.
No. I don't want to do. No, what I'm saying is, what is my one thing? Like I'm critique myself.
Yeah.
I do a lot of things.
Right.
But to me, I haven't found that one thing I can do weekly that I love. Like that I know that's gonna be big. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I do everything.
Yeah.
Till I find that one thing, if that makes sense.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I'm not trying to be anybody else.
No, I know you're not trying to be.
But
Josh
what I'm
Johnson.
saying is,
I'm just saying I think you will agree with this, that we oftentimes start looking around and
comparison is the thief of joy.
Yes.
I don't do that, but
knowing
as a
that
business,
we've got a good thing going, and we still always damn it.
But as a business person,
I don't got a goddamn John Lasseter sign in my goddamn house. Now I go out and buy a big ass house. I go back to Brooklyn, you see a John show, like, oh man, you got that from Michael. Do you, John?
But you gotta admit that it's good to look at what people are doing, because what it does, it helps give you ideas. Like for instance, you got this, we'll talk about Blap. Like you'll find what other businesses have done and like, oh, okay, that's successful. How can I incorporate that or
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
incorporate? So that's what I look at the comedy landscape, and it's just like it's no different than when there was a big trend at one time where everybody turned their phones to watch the Instagram videos. You
Right.
remember that?
Yeah.
Yo, you watch it and turn. So then all the comics did that.
Right.
Everybody turned their phone. Then crowd work became a thing. It would be stupid saying, no, I'm not going to do that.
Right.
You know, so I look at it as a point of view of, all right, all this out there, what can I do? But the critique, because I always critique myself, I haven't found that one thing on YouTube.
Right.
That is just a staple that keeps just building and
Right.
building and building.
Yeah.
You
Josh
know?
definitely has. And Josh, funny as hell, one of the nicest guys in the world.
Yeah, that's
too.
what I heard. That's what I heard.
Oh.
All right, let's talk about Blap. Let's talk about Blap. Blap, tell us about it. Where are we in the prize? I know you start, when I met you 4 or 5 years ago. How long has it been out? 6 years? 7 years?
No. Blap has been out. I think we started promoting it at the top of 2022. So
Okay.
this coming up, this year will be kind of like the 4th year.
Okay, so tell people about
3 years, 4 years. It's you know what? We started Blap. You remember it was just a map.
Yeah.
That would figure out wherever you were standing in the world, put the black-owned businesses on a Google map around you, and then at the beginning of this year, we expanded into e-commerce. So now you can, people are starting to shop on the app, and then obviously the next stage, the stage that I'm looking at, that I was on all morning,
Yeah.
is enterprise software. So Blap will, when you open up your desktop, your laptop, your iPad, or whatever, it would look just like Amazon, Shopify, like the
Gotcha.
stuff that I'm looking at now. The version that people have in their phones now is the Flintstones version, but I'm looking at the Jetsons version of Blap, which will be available probably mid-March,
Okay.
late March. But after that, Blap will be, it'll be on the same platform as all the majors, but it's just all black-owned businesses.
Black-owned businesses where you can go shop black-owned
Where
businesses.
you can go shop for black-owned businesses, yeah. You could order everything from toilet paper to books on Blap, seasoning right now, but that's going to expand like I don't even know how to explain it.
What's the pressure in having that business for you?
For black founders, it's founders, but black founders, it's exacerbated. Raising money,
Yeah.
raising capital is difficult for we were locked out of access to capital for 400 years.
Yeah.
I think we still are, and that accumulates. So you just don't have as many people to go and raise money. So that causes pressure. I think that most. You know what? I'm not even gonna say that. You know what? I will say it. I think that most people, man, would agree that if you had an e-commerce app and hadn't spent a penny and had 400,000 people on it, and I was white, I wouldn't be looking for money.
Okay.
I would. It would be much easier.
Is it because? Let me ask you this: is it because of the color or the connections, or the
Connections.
or the color causes
the
you not to
connections.
have the connections?
The color causes you to not have the connections.
Okay.
For sure. So yeah, it's that. It's just that we don't. You. If you listen to these stories, of these great tech founders, they just breeze past the part. A lot of successful white guys, they'll breeze over the part. They'll say, oh, Jeff Bezos started Amazon in his garage. His parents gave him $200,000, and then they'll just
Yeah.
Whoa, 200 what? They leave that part out.
Yeah.
If I could get $200,000 from my mom, you know what? And keep in mind, this part I'm not joking about.
Yeah.
If I was able to get $200,000 from my mom, and believe me, and I'm telling you, I have tech friends who would attest to what I'm about to say, I would be a multi-billionaire today, this afternoon.
Wow.
If I could have got $200,000 from my mom a year or two ago, you would already be looking at a probably deca-billionaire. That's the difference. But now, I got some friends who are helping me do that. I got a big meeting in New York on Monday that should pave the way for access to capital that will allow me to do, but I would have already been there.
Yeah.
I would have been there 2 Christmases ago. I would have been there the day that Target pulled out of the DEI policies with an ecosystem with thousands and thousands of black-owned businesses that people would have just said, let's just go to Blap. I'd already be a mega billionaire. Already. If my mom had $200,000 to give me.
To
but
give
they
away.
they just breeze past that part. They just, Elon Musk is self-made. They leave out the part that his dad owned mineral mines.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one talks about, where I would be if my daddy owned mineral mines?
Well, here's the point. You could do nothing and still be a billionaire. you know what I mean? You don't even have to expand that business.
You know
if
where
you
I
did a
could
little
be
bit.
if I could call my dad who owned mineral mines? You know where Blap would be? It's comical.
Yeah.
Trump. Yeah, I built this. The taxes came from his sister or daughter-in-law's basement or whatever. His brother's daughter, and they pulled those taxes up. The New York Times ran the whole story. The sad part was he didn't even contest it. He didn't say no. He never said it's fake news. He just said, "Why are you digging through our shit?"
Yeah.
$400 million he inherited. Mm-hmm. And these motherfuckers sit around and talk about self-made. Oh, look at him, he worked his way. You know where we would be if somebody gave us $400 million?
Not on this podcast.
Not on this goddamn podcast.
Unless it's a billionaire podcast.
We
we just drinking and just talking noise. Like,
You'd
look,
have
we're
to
rich.
change that to no show.
No shot.
I'll tell your ass that much.
So let me ask you this. Since Trump became president, and this isn't a political show, but has it helped or hurt your business? Because I know...
I think it's a mixed bag.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Obviously, I think that people are being far more intentional about where they're shopping, which is, going to cause some increases. But, this administration targeted black people day one. They got rid of the 4-star general. We're going to rip DEI. You got to stop hiring these black folks, especially in executive positions. There's 300,000 black women, I think, that he targeted that were immediately out of work. So people have less money to spend. So is that good for me when the black community is hurting and reeling and scared to put black on anything? Mm-hmm. That's bad for business. The intentional part is good, so it's a mixed bag.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So how can people find the app?
The App Store, the Play Store. Also, please go on there and put 5 stars.
Yes.
For a review, yeah. We had a horrible developer a couple years ago that screwed us. And then we got, there's people, this is racist, 1 star.
Yeah.
So I'm getting the 1 stars that are dragging down so yeah, please go on there. First of all, make your first purchase too. That's a big deal. Find something, anything to buy. Because people are always like, what can I do? I get it. Go and buy one thing. Because then the app will figure out what you like, start putting dope shit in front of you. And Lord knows, black folks, we make dope shit. Nobody's ever argued with that. We make dope shit. So go on there, find one thing to buy, let the algorithm figure out what you like. And like I said, by going into April, man, this thing's going to stretch out where you're going to start to see, it'll start with hundreds. I'll probably start adding a couple hundred a day, and then eventually it'll be thousands, because there will be tens of thousands of black-owned businesses on Blap by Juneteenth.
All right.
Like the demos that they showing me now, man. I'm sitting there. I'm thinking about, I'm gonna be doing a lot of cocaine. You know what I'm saying? This is
on the next episode,
cocaine money, baby.
We'll talk about John's drug problems.
You know what I mean? I'm headed back to rehab. This is big. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no club bottle money. This is, that nigga is coked up on an island. You know what I mean? Yeah. Ain't no sense in half-assing with it, baby. You know what I mean? Yeah.
All right, John, how can people find you on Instagram and stuff like that?
You can always hit me personally at He Was Funny. Make sure you follow Blap the app online, though, too. Blap Pod, I just launched that page.
Blap Pod.
I shot 2 episodes. We building an ecosystem.
All right. All right, we'll see you next time on the Yo Show. Make sure you like, subscribe, do all that cool stuff. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you later.